Welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into all this Liam Payne news today. Trying to make sense of it. You send over some articles, and
Yeah.
it seems like everyone's kind of scrambling to put the pieces together.
Right, right.
And to help us with that, we've got our expert with us today.
Hey.
They are fantastic at cutting through all the noise and finding, those
Yeah.
really interesting nuggets of information.
It's a lot right now, that's for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very emotional. There's a lot of speculation flying around, and then obviously just like
Yeah.
the reality of it all.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff. So for anyone who might not be super familiar with Liam Payne's work, maybe we start with some background. He was part of
What?
One Direction, is that right?
He was, yeah. But I think to really get it, you got to understand like how huge One Direction was.
Okay.
This wasn't just like a popular boy band. We're talking massive, like stadium tours, topping the charts,
Wow.
global phenomenon.
Mm.
And they got their start on that British talent show X Factor. Oh, right, right.
Which, side note, has launched a bunch of huge music careers.
So it's like a what's the word? Like a music pressure cooker.
Yeah.
They create stars and just launch them into superstardom.
Pretty much. And for One Direction, yeah, they were just right into this whirlwind of fame.
Intense.
And Payne, he carried that with him, even to he went solo back in
19.
19. Yeah.
Which makes the news from Argentina even more, I don't know, just like jarring, I guess. Those articles that you sent, Forbes, BBC, NBC, they all seem to agree that that he passed away in Buenos Aires.
Right.
And they're saying it was a fall from a hotel balcony.
Yeah, and usually when you have multiple sources reporting such similar details, that usually means there's a higher probability that it's accurate, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the Forbes article, they mentioned there's a police investigation happening now, which,
Makes sense.
yeah, I mean, given the circumstances, it's not surprising.
Not at all, no.
Yeah, and the autopsy results mentioned multiple traumas and hemorrhages, I think is how they put it,
Right.
which, I mean, that just makes me think it was a really tragic accident.
It does, it does. But I think the language that some of these outlets are using is interesting,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So some of them say he jumped, others say he fell, and it's subtle, but
Yeah.
those words carry really different meanings, you know?
Oh, totally. Fell makes you think it could have been an accident, but jumped
Yeah.
just leads to
Exactly.
her other set of questions.
Yeah, it's like the way they phrase it, it kind of plants a seed in your mind,
Right.
even if they're not doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
And it just highlights how important it is to be aware of like where the information's coming from and how it's being presented, you know? Especially with something as sensitive as this.
Absolutely. And that actually brings us to another detail that I thought was interesting. The TMZ article, the one about Zayn Malik postponing his tour dates in the U.S., but not the U.K. dates. The ones scheduled for next month. Didn't this just happen?
It's a discrepancy for sure. It could be that TMZ just, made a mistake. They do that sometimes.
Right.
Especially when they're rushing to report something.
Yeah.
Or it could mean that the timeline is more complicated than we initially thought,
Yeah.
And I think what's important for your listeners to remember is that information, especially online, it changes constantly.
It's like trying to put a puzzle together while someone's still shuffling all the pieces around.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, a very chaotic puzzle. And speaking of reactions, the response from Payne's former bandmates has been, it's been something.
Yeah, and reading what they've said, even what Zayn said, and the Forbes article mentioned, their relationship wasn't always
Right.
easy,
Yeah.
But even him calling Payne his brother, it's just,
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking.
And it's interesting because that's where the whole, public grieving thing gets complicated.
Oh, I saw.
Because those feelings are obviously genuine, right? But there's also this aspect of, they're expressing their grief on this global stage for
Right.
everyone to see. And it kind of makes you wonder,
Yeah.
how much of it is just pure, raw emotion
Yeah.
versus this maybe unspoken pressure to say the right thing, you know what I mean?
That's a really good point, especially with how social media just amplifies everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think for your listeners trying to understand this, it's important to consider those different layers to really get the full picture.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is.
Makes you think about all that pressure on celebrities.
Right.
Especially Liam Payne, who was, they were so young.
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine
Yeah.
being that young and having to deal with that level of fame?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And you mentioned it, that Forbes article where Payne talked about his mental health.
Yeah.
He was very open about his struggles, even saying he had had suicidal thoughts in the past.
It's just, it reminds you that behind all the music and the awards and that image they have, there's a real person there.
100%. And that's where I think it's really important to understand the music industry as a whole,
Okay.
because there's been this growing conversation around mental health,
Right.
especially for these like young artists. The pressure to constantly be producing new music, touring, maintaining this like very specific public image.
It's got to be a lot.
It takes its toll. It really does. And sadly, Payne's story is it's not unique.
No, not at all.
Unfortunately.
It's like everyone sees the glamorous side of it, the success and all that, but not what they had to go through, what they had to give up.
Exactly. And I think that's why this whole thing has resonated with so many people.
Yeah.
It's this harsh reminder that fame comes at a cost.
It does.
And beyond the headlines, Liam Payne was a son, he was a father, friend to a lot of people. And he had he had his struggles that I think really shaped who he was. And he was very open about that.
He was. And it's tragic. But it's also got people revisiting One Direction's music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that Forbes article, I think it was, mentioned night changes.
Okay.
Specifically. And apparently it's kind of become this, I don't know, like an anthem.
Wow.
For fans who are grieving.
That's powerful.
It is, right. And it makes sense when you think about it, because music, it has this ability to just...
take you back.
Yeah, to take you back to a specific moment.
Totally.
In your life.
It's true. And for a lot of people, One Direction's music, it might remind them of like...
Oh, I bet.
First loves, teenage parties, like those really formative years. Times of both joy and heartbreak. And listening to those songs now, it's almost like they're reliving those memories.
Right.
But with this like bittersweet edge of loss.
You're really tapping into something there.
It's profound. And I think it highlights this really crucial aspect of what we're talking about, the power of shared experience, especially in the digital age.
Makes sense.
Because even if you didn't know Liam Payne personally, his music, his story, it might have touched you in some way.
Right. You've got all these fans all over the world who are like really feeling this loss.
Right.
Even though they never met him, which, I mean, that says something.
It really does. It speaks volumes. And it actually brings us back to that TMZ article, the one about Zayn Malik's tour dates. And that discrepancy, whether they meant to do it or not, it really highlights something important about how we get our news these days.
It's like we're all trying to put this puzzle together, but we're getting pieces from all over the place.
Yeah, and at different times.
Exactly. And sometimes they just, like, don't fit yet, It's
true. And that's why I always say you got to be careful about what you read online. Especially now with how fast news travels, social media, all that, it's really easy to get caught up in it all.
Oh, totally.
But it's so important to like take a breath, look at where the information's coming from, see if other people are saying the same thing.
Right, get the full picture.
Exactly. That's how you get closer to, the truth of what happened.
It's like what you're doing right now, right?
Exactly.
Taking this deep dive, looking at everything, trying to make sense of it.
100%. And for our listener who wanted to understand all this Liam Payne news, without getting lost in all the craziness, I think we did a pretty good job.
I think so too, yeah. We talked about all the important stuff, how people are reacting.
We talked about the pressures of fame, mental health, how music brings people together.
And I think most importantly, we talked about, like, thinking for yourself.
Yes.
Being careful about what you believe and just, being kind.
Empathy.
Yes. Empathy, that's the word.
Because at the end of the day, this is a human story. And we can't forget that.
We can't. So to our listener, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. It's been, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
But we'll be back soon with another topic, more things to explore. So
more deep dives.
More deep dives, exactly. Until then, keep asking questions and
stay curious.
And stay curious.